Alright, imagine you're a Zionist billionaire trying to take over politics. How would you do that? Well, first, you need a crew. You need a thought leader, the brains behind the operation. Preferably a fat, dysgenic, ugly Jewish retard. This is Curtis Yarvin. Second, you're gonna need your agent, the man on the street, the front to your Zionist operation. This is J.D. Vance. Last, you need your mastermind, the man who puts together the crew, funds the operation, and is the man behind the mission. This is Peter Thiel. Curtis Yarvin is a computer programmer turned professional yapper philosopher. His early life was spent abroad living in Cyprus. His father, Herbert Yarvin, worked in the United States Foreign Service. Side note, for anybody who doesn't know, that's State Department talk for being a spy or United States agent. The Foreign Service, that's exactly what that is. You literally are a spy. To add on to his family history, his father was Jewish, his grandparents were Jewish, and they were also active in the American Communist Party. Curtis Yarvin went to Brown University, then got his PhD at UC Berkeley in computer science. After college, Curtis Yarvin goes on to work in several tech companies in the late 90s and throughout the 2000s. Silicon Valley is where he would meet people like Peter Thiel and J.D. Vance. In the late 2000s, Curtis Yarvin starts blogging underneath the name Mencius Moldbug in the new popular genre of NRX, otherwise known as neo-reactionary thought. Okay, if you're underneath the age of 50, this was like the precursor to the alt-right. They were attacking mainstream political thought from the right. Curtis Yarvin skewed from the alt-right. He often declared them as stupid Nazis and criticized their quote-unquote peasant belief of anti-Semitism. NRX's main ideas were challenging democracy. If you boil it down, it's surface-level minarchism. They made the outrageous discovery that democracy is bad. This defines Curtis Yarvin's ideology, that the government should be run like a corporation, with the CEO as the head of the government. Peter Thiel funds Curtis Yarvin so he can promote, write, and make appearances on media platforms, shilling this 50 IQ ideology. The main thing to take away from Curtis Yarvin is, he presents himself and is regarded as a right-wing intellectual, but his ideology isn't even right-wing, or even conservative. It simply furthers him and his Silicon Valley associates. J.D. Vance is a freshman senator from the state of Ohio. On its face, J.D. Vance looks like your average right-wing patriot. Beard, sleeves rolled up, from the Midwest, supports Trump, but all these features are a part of a larger crafted facade. J.D. Vance is anything but these things. While being born in Ohio, he has spent most of his time in Silicon Valley. Vance first attended Ohio State, then he went to Yale, one of the most prestigious colleges in America. After college, Vance moved to San Francisco, where he worked in venture capital under Peter Thiel's investment firm, Minthrel Capital. Running theme you can see with all these members within this influence operation is they're all liberals, they're all from Silicon Valley, and they all worked with Peter Thiel in tech. J.D. Vance then entered the political scene with his book, Hillbilly Elegy, known as the voice of Middle America, or the Trump Whisperer, because a fat white-collar Yale graduate understands your average guy. In the book Hillbilly Elegy, he references several times that middle American whites are envious, and especially they're envious of Obama because he's smart, well-educated, and well-spoken. He also on several occasions said Obama was admirable and a great man. Throughout 2016, J.D. Vance was a never-Trumper, constantly criticizing Trump, not even voting for him. In 2016, J.D. Vance voted for Evan McMullen, a CIA agent who ran in the 2016 election as a third party. In 2022, he completely reversed his positions for a Senate run. With funding from Peter Thiel, he came out vocally in support of Trump and was regarded by the media as one of the most right-wing Republicans. Then he changed his appearance, donning flannels for his campaign. He grew out a beard, just to show how in touch he is with your average person. J.D. Vance is especially dangerous because of his unequivocal support for the belligerent state of Israel. He recently spoke at the Quincy Institute, an anti-war foundation. There, in light of Israel committing a genocide in Gaza and alienating itself and the United States from the world, he said, "It is actually America first to support Israel's genocide in Gaza, and we should fully support and aid Israel's genocide against the Palestinians." To summarize J.D. Vance, he is the Trojan horse of this Zionist Silicon Valley operation. He parades around as a hillbilly Trump supporter. He is the so-called voice of white America while being a tech bro married to an Indian with Indian kids. J.D. Vance poses a genuine threat because he is one of the top choices to be on Trump's ticket in 2024. And with this power, he'll be able to hire more people just like him to subvert the right wing. Peter Thiel is the nucleus and creator of the Zionist Network. He is a venture capitalist, co-founding companies like PayPal, Palantir, the Founders Fund, and he was the angel investor for Facebook. Peter Thiel is almost worth $10 billion. The best way to understand Peter Thiel is to simply just listen to him.
You want to be a one-of-a-kind company where it's the only one in a small ecosystem. You don't want to be the 4th online pet food company. You don't want to be the 10th thin film solar panel company. You don't want to be the 100th restaurant in Palo Alto. Restaurant industry is $1 trillion industry. So if you do a market size analysis, you'd conclude restaurants are a fantastic business to go into. And it's often large markets, large existing markets typically mean that you have tons of competition, very, very hard to differentiate. So the first very counterintuitive idea is to go after small markets, often markets that are so small people don't even notice them, they don't think that they make sense. That's where you get a foothold, and then if those markets are able to expand, you can scale into a big monopoly business.
Here, Thiel states how to create a monopoly. You must start in a small market, dominate that market, then expand. You could use this practice in, I don't know, maybe supporting early on and speaking at the RNC for an up-and-coming radical presidential candidate, or funding several niche online creators like Bronze Age Pervert, a fascist bodybuilder who is a Jewish Zionist, and also everyone who associates with him in the Sovereign House. Or you could fund a plethora of political candidates in the 2022 midterms like J.D. Vance, Blake Masters, and former CIA agent Joe Kent. Or funding a autistic homeless intellectual like Curtis Yarvin, so we can promote your ideology that promotes with your business practices and your Zionist beliefs. Or you could start and fund the Stanford Review with Bill Kristol, son of Irving Kristol, another Jewish Zionist. The Stanford Review is a right-wing news platform at one of the most elite universities in America. Thiel is dominating all of these small political markets. Your average person would overlook these, but altogether it is one big, powerful propaganda machine. Peter Thiel is unlike most political donors. He is carving out a share in the American right on all levels: media outlets, political candidates, intellectuals, social media influencers. Thiel has funded and created a bottom-up influence network that rivals anything that has ever been achieved. Because of his prior experience in tech, he understands how to make a dominant political monopoly. This next part is the most alarming about this whole network. Palantir, Peter Thiel's company that operates in intelligence and contracts with the United States government. Palantir specializes in tech, AI, and communication. This is all jargon for being a CIA-fed company. In light of October 7th, Palantir announced they would hire more Jews to Palantir to combat anti-Semitism. The Palantir connection is worrying because of the business they operate in. They are an intelligence company who works for the United States government, run by a Zionist ideologue, and staffed by Jewish Zionists. Now I will pose a doomsday situation which might become reality. Peter Thiel is friends with Sam Altman. Yes, OpenAI Sam Altman. Matter of fact, Sam Altman was the one who introduced Peter Thiel for the video I showed earlier.
Peter was the founder of PayPal and Palantir and Founders Fund, and has invested in most of the tech companies in Silicon Valley. And he's going to talk about strategy and competition. Thank you for coming, Peter.
Awesome. Thanks. Sam, thanks for inviting me.
Sam Altman is Jewish. He regards Peter Thiel as a mentor and a great friend, and they have collaborated on projects in the past. OpenAI recently announced a partnership with Apple, so they can collect data and create a more efficient Siri AI. Now imagine a Zionist network having complete access to your Apple devices and constantly listening in on you. They could use this power to dominate American politics for 1,000 years. Partnered with AI, this is too much concentrated power in malicious hands.
Those that can master the technology will master capital. Those that master capital then generate the political change. They are the kind of disruptive political element. It matters quite a bit, actually, that the people that are programming the AI hate whites. Pretty scary stuff. You can hate whites for kind of anything, but if you hate whites and you run AI, they could kill all white people. They literally could do that. A rogue, woke POC, whatever, could kill all white people with artificial intelligence and robotics. It's a different world. People don't understand the danger. So it's very similar to, if you saw Oppenheimer, it's like the prospect of like the Nazis getting the nuclear bomb. This is like, we can't let the Jews control AI. I fear that they will, though.
To summarize Peter Thiel and this network, he is the godfather and founder of this new emerging right, which is trying to replace America First and Donald Trump. Everything this network touches is astroturfed and not genuine. Nothing from him or his benefactors can be trusted or taken seriously. On all levels, him and his people do not have the best interest for Americans. They only serve themselves and the state of Israel. We must root out and expose money interest and foreign lobbies in America if we ever want to be free and put America first.
The end. Follow Chad Champion on twitter.com.